Hey guys, Mike here, coming to you from the dungeon. And check it out, man. I got a whole new setup. I got a little microphone here. I've got like some lights, and I'm standing up now instead of sitting down. And I got a whole new thing. My wife bought me for my birthday, which was actually my birthday's actually today. I'm 41, so we're life beyond 41 now. But look, even check this out. I've even got notes, right? I was going to make a whole video like for the other channel now that I've got this unique setup, but um, it's a matter of finding the time when you have little kids and stuff, and I want to spend time with my wife. I want to spend time with my kids, but I did want to make this video today to wish myself happy birthday and to tell you that there is more stuff coming. And I haven't decided yet if I'm just going to keep going on this channel or if I'm going to put it on the other channel. I don't know if it even matters either way. Because at first I was like, I want to start this other channel and kind of like start with a better production quality and stuff. But I'm thinking, no, man, maybe I just keep going on this one and, and just try to grow it. This is something that I'd started for my kids, like a vlog. So my kids, in case something happened to me, my kids would know more about their father and stuff. But, you know, I would like to talk about current events because there's a lot of crazy shit that's going on. And I feel a little bit more comfortable talking on this channel than starting a new channel, if that makes sense. Like I've already kind of got a role going over here. If I start a new channel, I feel like I have to do something different. And I just don't really want to. So I think I might just keep going on this channel. But I just wanted to post this video to like say, hey, look, I got a new setup. Maybe I thought about changing the background and stuff, but I don't know. I don't really. It's not that important to me. I like the whole new camera setup and everything, and I think it's better. And I think the quality is going to be better. And just to let you guys know that there's more coming. Happy birthday to me. I've been diving into Nietzsche and the thus spoke there Zarathustra and all that, and I'm really into that right now. So I'm probably going to make a video of that. Might be the next one, but I wanted to go and I wanted to. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about this now in this video. But we've had two things that have happened very recently that I think they actually have a connection um, that. You might not be able to see. So one is the Raja Jackson thing where it's this MMA fighter. He's 25 years old, so he should at least somewhat have his shit together, right? Or at least beginning to get his shit together, right? The brain quit's growing around 25, so he's an adult now. He's become an adult, and his father is Rampage Jackson. Okay, so but anyway, he's like a Twitch streamer, whatever. I don't know all this fucking shit, right? I know YouTube, but that's about all I fucking know. But anyway, he got in the ring with a wrestler. He picked him up, dropped him, right, knocked him out, and as the guy was unconscious on the ground, he proceeds to just wail on him, puts the guy in the hospital. The guy's got like potentially permanent brain damage and all this other stuff, right? There's a whole big thing around it. If you haven't seen it, go look into it. It's really just sad. It's just sad. And then the other thing that happened, I think this was just yesterday, was there was a shooting at a Catholic mass school, something like that. Anyway, and the shooter, it ended up being like a white trans female, male. I don't fucking know. It's a white man who thinks that he was a woman or trying to transition into a woman. And so the really disturbing thing about the Raja thing was like, you if you saw the videos and how his dad was communicating to him in the videos about how his little Twitch streamers were all egging him on to like do something about his apparent disrespect that actually wasn't, it was just a mistake. And even the other wrestler who was trying to egg him on to do this thing, it really came to a head where like the guy, Raja, felt like he had to do something to like save face, not only for his little Twitch streamers, but like for his father, even that was talking about like homosexual fantasies and weird shit, and calling him, uh, like he had some kind of like weird sexual fantasy with these wrestlers because they're in like tights or whatever. It's very like it's just a whole very like toxic situation. If you see how his father was talking to him, it's a very toxic situation, and this young man felt probably like he was at the end of his rope, and he had to, I don't know, make this giant, huge mistake that he did, basically attempting to kill somebody. Um, and, he just lost it. He lost his shit, right? He fucking lost it. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him. This is just the way that it is. And then you look at the other guy, like the trans shooter, it's kind of like, it's the same thing, man. It's this youth rage. It's this youth. When you think of a school shooter, what do you think of? You think of a young male youth. You don't typically think of women. There was one a while ago that was a girl or a woman, but usually you think of like young men that are doing this, and young men are extremely angry. It has something to do with this like young male rage. It's rage, and it's very concerning, and it's very like just apparent. And and I've felt rage too before, but like you see this, right, and you see that here this guy is. He goes to his school. This is obviously an act of rage, right? Shooting and killing people. And then you see this guy jumping in the ring trying to kill this other wrestler. Maybe he wasn't trying to kill him, but if you watch the video after, this is the really disturbing part. If you go and you watch and you see what his comments were after, he felt like, he was saying, he was raging. He was saying that, that guy, he wasn't going to be punked anymore, and he was tired of these people treating him like he was like he was some kind of punk, and people, treating him shitty and all this stuff. So he jumps in the ring and tries to kill somebody. Like this is like a societal problem. Right? We have these young men who have really bad role models. Okay. If Andrew Tate, okay, a lot of people shit on Andrew Tate like Andrew Tate was really bad, okay? And I agree, like, a lot of what Andrew Tate says is really bad. But then what you have now is you have these fake alpha male grifters who are like they're the what's one guy he calls them, like, it's like the Temu Andrew Tate, right? Where they're actually not successful. They have that fake appearance of being successful. They're not really alpha males. They're all like, they're fake alphas is what they are. But they're influencing young generations of men to be almost like psychopathic. Certainly, there's a certain psychopathy. There's something wrong with these people, right? That they're lashing out like this, And you look at all these protests and stuff. What is it? It's all mostly young men and women too, but mostly young men that are doing this stuff. And it's because they're raging out, man. They don't have any real male, idols, influencers, whatever, that are actually real men that can kind of like bring them up or bring them along. And you guys might say, oh, well, there's Joe Rogan, or there's PBD, or there's these other, male robot. No, fuck no. That's not what I'm talking about at all. And this is what I'm talking about with the with Nietzsche and this stuff is like, very few people ever graduate to the level of actually being worth teaching the young people, right? Or being a role model for the young people. Okay, none of these fucking athletes, none of them, right? A lot of people are like, they look to these athletes, or they look to none of them, man, none of them. Look at somebody like Mike Tyson. Like when Mike Tyson was growing up, right? People idolized him, right? And they wanted to be like Mike, right? But Mike was a fucking shit show. And if you talk to Mike Tyson today, he'd tell you that. He was like, no, you don't want to be anything like that old Mike Tyson. And you look at the new Mike Tyson, and he's very much more like, how would you say? He's much more, I guess, woke. That's a terrible word to use, but he's much more aware of the influence and the negative influence that he had when he was younger, and he's much more like come around to like, you know, a higher way of thinking. I don't even really know. I don't have the vocabulary to really tell you, but like Iron Mike would not want you to be like Iron Mike, and he would tell you that, and I feel like I've actually heard him say that. So like these people that, you know, these youngsters are looking up to they're not worth emulating. They're not real men. Even somebody like Jordan Peterson, right? Someone who's driven even almost like by emotions, right? And continues to have problems with drugs. You know, and it's just not, you know, it isn't, these aren't people you want to emulate. Okay. First, like, it's so crazy. Like, first of all, you can't really emulate somebody else into a better place. You can't do that. You have to find it on your own. You have to find it on your own, and you have to do it on, like, you have to make it your own. Okay. Now that takes a lot of study, and maybe you look at people that are successful and you learn from them, but you don't copy them. If you try to copy these people, you end up, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so, like, you've really got to do, and you know, these deep dives into yourself and into philosophy, right? You know, and a lot of people will, you know, maybe they don't like that. Maybe they don't want to do the work. That's fine. You know, I mean, but look, you're going to live in hell forever. You know, I believe in hell. You know, we talked so much about religion on this show or on this channel, and we're going to talk more about religion. But I believe in hell, and I believe it's here now, and I believe you can create it. Obviously, this trans shooter was in hell. You know, was in hell. He's not now. He's gone now. Killed himself. But he was obviously in hell. Torment on the daily. Okay. And the same thing for this Raja guy. You know, he's obviously in hell. He's going through hell every day. And maybe it doesn't look like it from the outside, but just go and watch the video that he posted after all this stuff happened. This kid needs help. This kid is in hell. He's in hell. He needs intense therapy. He's probably going to go to jail, but while he's in jail, he needs intense therapy, or he's going to come out and he's going to be even worse. You know, but anyway, that's all I've got for today. You know, this, you know, I think I'm wanting to move this channel more into a place where I'm trying to speak about what it is to actually be a real man, but not from the sense of like, oh, here's 10 points, you know, to make you a real man. No, not that shit. It's your own like personal journey that you have to go on and that you have to define for yourself. And you know, I do tend to think that if we all go on the journey, that we do end up arriving in a similar place, not exactly the same, but a similar place. You know, but you got to go on that fucking journey, right? And you know, if you want to, you know, if you don't, I mean, as a young man, you know, if you're not prepared to go on that journey, you know, you're a menace. You're a fucking menace. You're a villain. You know, or you're just, well, you know, Nietzsche calls it, what is it? I think it's the higher man. It's the comfortable man, where you just want to be comfortable. You don't want to challenge yourself. You want to be challenged. You just want to be comfortable. And that's, Not only is it lazy, but it's just like, come on, man, you're fucking lame. What else do you have to do? You're gonna live this life and you're gonna die. What else do you have to do but to try to become something better while you're here, right? But anyway, that's it for the video. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Pass this along. I'm gonna try to do more videos, and maybe we can try to keep them 15 minutes or less. Maybe occasionally, maybe I can run up and do a longer video. Maybe I can have guests. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great that you guys could hear somebody speak that isn't me, somebody more interesting. But anyway, that's enough for now. Until we speak again.